Hey, welcome to Rusty Judgment, formerly known as Trucks and Tractors. Today, what we got going, we're back on the C10 project. I'm gonna make this thing all one color today. Trying to decide, this is a terrible idea.
It kind of looks like we're in a crime scene here.
I promise we're not. Only good things have happened inside of this plastic bubble.
All right, so we'll get to that in a few minutes, but real quick, what's the goal with this truck?
I bought this 1984 Chevy C10 specifically for Cleetus and Cars event. It was gonna be earlier this year, now it is August 29th. Cleetus and Cars burnout contest. So if you don't know anything about it, it's a concrete box with concrete barricades around it. You go in, you smoke your tires, you spin around. The goal is pop a set of tires, use all of the space, and wall tap.
So you talked about last time that you're gonna do an LS swap in it, but while you're searching out the motor for that,
we decided, hey, if we're gonna wall tap it, we might as well paint it up first so that it can look good.
Well, your DIY patina didn't exactly pan out.
No, so originally this truck was just kind of like rattle can primered, and it looked a little rough. So I thought, you know what, let's try and find some cool patina underneath, which actually made it look worse. So then I kind of thought, all right, well, I can't bring it to Cleetus and Cars looking like this. So let's try and make it look better on a tight budget, because again, it's probably gonna kiss a wall.
So you had it partially sanded down, and then...
Hold on, some people are gonna like lose their minds that I'm redoing and repainting a truck and then I'm gonna slam it into a wall. The goal is not to hit a wall, for me. A lot of people wanna just like bump one. I'm good with not touching the wall at all.
But that's why you don't want to put a lot of money, time, or effort into the finish.
Correct.
Right now.
Correct.
So you got a bunch of rattle cans of primer, green, kind of a greenish color primer.
Like 20 of them.
I thought you made that side of the truck look kind of cool.
I thought maybe the green would look good. Put it on. The kids like it. I don't really care for it. So this is what I did on this side. Just kind of trying to feel out what it will look like and if this would be something I could do. Again, I'm not sure what this is looking like on the camera because I'm using a GoPro, but
it was green and it had like a white primer on the
yeah,
top.
it was like an off-white. I tried white and it was too harsh of a contrast. Yeah. I didn't really care for it. I do agree, it did look a lot better, but it looked a little too military-ish for me.
Okay.
When I put the wheels on, I thought, I don't know, it looked better, don't get me wrong. It looked way better, but it's not really my style. I got some different wheels and tires for it. Do you guys want to see them? It may not be everybody's flavor, but it's mine, and I think they look fantastic. They're off of a 2012 Camaro that I also found the wheels on Marketplace. I bought just the wheels, and then I found different tires, so I had the tires mounted up. They're all used, everything's used. We don't buy anything new, really. So, actually, I should probably put that back on. That was holding my stand up so my paint booth doesn't collapse. But so these are the wheels, they're 20s, they're staggered, so it's gonna be 20 by 8 in the front, 20 by 9 in the rear. And then the tires that I got for the rear are about 12 inches wide. The fronts are like 9.5 wide, the rears are 12s wide.
So after 20 times of Tom saying, hey, will you come out and look at this? Like, hey, will you look at this? You spraying all different colors on the tailgate.
Yeah.
You decided that you just really wanted a baby blue matte primer finish.
Like ideally what I'd like to do is I'd like to just primer the entire truck. But I don't want it gray primer or any of the other color primers. I want it like this baby blue that's been found under the truck. I want the truck that whole color. Yeah, and then the next day Dawn's stools showed up.
Yeah, that's all you wanted.
That's all I wanted. I just want those stools puked on my truck.
Tom's like mad as he's opening the box of stools. I'm like, what? I'm like, you were $80 on Amazon.
When I pulled that first stool out, because Dawn's like, oh, can you open those up and bring them in the house? When I pulled that first stool out, I was like, is this a joke? Are you like, are you punking me right now? Yeah. Like, ha ha.
So you turned to YouTube.
Turned to YouTube. I found a guy on YouTube who was a painter. He took primer and he put some base coat into it, mixed it up, and he could tint it. Like he was getting a little different colors with it. I got this, which is sandable primer, gray. And I got this, which is blue, glossy, pink. I'm not gonna mix this up and spray the whole truck with it though, until I know what it does when it dries, because that would be a nightmare if I spray the whole truck and then have like a chemical reaction between the primer and paint here. So my goal here is just to come up with like a baby blue, but not a like a hard coat painted baby blue. Like I could do base coat in the color I want and then put like a semi-gloss on it, but I don't know that I really want to do that yet, because I have a feeling that after Cleetus and Cars, I'm gonna need to do some more body work. So I figure, why finish it before then? I just want it to look more presentable than what it currently does. See if I can tint it or if this is a mistake. So I thought, well, I just want a baby blue. I want it flat. I don't want it like nice because it's gonna get redone again. That is a bright blue. That's a very bright blue there. So I bought some primer at Fleet Farm and some paint at Fleet Farm. I did not see, the thing with men is reading. I didn't read any of it. I just, pictures, blue, gray. The blue is like a glass paint, like an actual legit paint. Mm-hmm. And the other one is just a sandable primer, which is what I wanted. Yeah. But I didn't realize that it was epoxy and acrylic. Okay, which you came to find out. That was what brought me down. So you were able to get the shade pretty close to what you wanted, but it was separating. Here is what happened. It separated like instantly. So I can mix it up and get it like fairly close, but then if you let it sit for like 3 minutes, it starts separating again. So I don't think that is gonna work. And my fear was that if I shot it on the truck, it was gonna do all kinds of funky stuff and make it so that down the road when I go to sand the truck down again and repaint it like correctly, that it was gonna really just make the rest of my hair fall out. So you ended up spending hours sanding the truck down, and even just to get it ready for primer. Yeah, so what you don't really notice about the truck, which maybe we can show in some of the videos that we had captured of it, is whoever sprayed the truck with primer, with rattle can primer before, like they literally just sprayed over everything. There used to be 2 rows of trim down the truck that had adhesive that held it on. They painted right over all that. They painted over all the weather stripping around all the windows. They painted over a lot of the chrome. Like they really just kind of puked it all over the truck. Yeah. And then what happened was it was kind of like all curling off the truck. And so I mean, I'm trying to do it on a budget and I don't care that much, but I care a lot more than that. Yeah. So I sanded down everything. And sanded and sanded. I sanded it all down. I even got to a point, so it needs rocker panels and cab corners, which I have those to replace on it. But I got to the point where it was like late one evening and I looked at Dawn and I said, do I just stop and cut those things out of there and put the new panels in? No. Because I just keep thinking I'm gonna have to backtrack and do this again anyway. I was like, we have more time now till August, but we do not have that much time. Yeah, so I said no. So my conscience stepped in and told me to do that. The voice when of reason, I like you know, yeah. So I sanded down the whole side of the truck. There was blue under here, it was just way far down. So I ended up taking this fender down to most of the metal because, like, if you remember how like blotchy it was super rough. Like if I painted over it, it wasn't gonna be smooth looking at all. It was just gonna look terrible. So I feathered all this. So I'm gonna spray self-etching primer over this tonight because it's a lot of bare metal. There's just a couple little patches here and there on the rest of it. I might just spot shoot those tonight just to get some primer over the bare metal parts. Come back tomorrow, tape it off, give it another once over scuff, clean it, degrease it. So you got it all sanded down. You have all these leftover cans of primer, so So I primered the entire truck with self-etching primer. So the whole truck is coated in self-etching primer. So what I need to do now is I need to tape off all the glass, and then I gotta rip the front bumper off of it because we finally got some, like a little break in all the rain. So we got a little break in the rain. The humidity has gone down a little bit so I can paint.
And you thought that was preparing it for paint.
I did. You know, here's the thing. Like, I usually take an idea and just like sprint. Again, the whole reading thing. So I'm like, primer's primer. I've painted cars before. I probably painted 5 or 6 cars before myself. So I've never shot a self-etching primer before. I've always shot epoxy primers. Well, turns out you cannot put base coat and clear coat directly over self-etching primer because it will not adhere to the primer and it will come off.
This simple paint job is just like...
I wanted to paint, here's the thing. After the DIY patina thing failed, I'm like, all right, 60 bucks. I want to paint that whole truck and make it look sweet for 60 bucks.
Yeah.
No.
Gone. So you got the paint booth all set up. You got it primed. That's where we're at now.
Right. And the paint booth, I know the paint booth, people are gonna rip it apart. I honestly did the paint booth more for the stuff that's behind us. The tractors and the boat that's not ours, all those things, like I'm more protecting them from overspray than the paint job I was trying to do.
I mean, we can show the paint. You got super cool paint color.
I ended up going and getting base coat single stage, or it's single stage paint. So again, I don't want to make it super nice. Don't want to spend a lot of money on it because it's going to need some more body work down the road, and then I'll have to repaint either panels or sections. Or the other thing is I don't want it to be glossy. I want it to be flat or matte finish. So what I ended up going with is I'm going with a single stage Omni matte paint. So Omni's like your base, your cheapest automotive paint. So it's a base coat, clear coat mixed together. So it's called, that's why it's single stage. You mix it all as one, put a hardener and reducer in it, you paint it, and then whatever it comes out, comes out. But so it was cheaper, so we're gonna go single stage for this. I'm actually going with the factory color. I really love all the old retro colors from back then. So this is the factory color, and it will be in a matte finish. At least that's my goal, to try and achieve a matte finish. I actually just shook it up, so here. Isn't that pretty? It's got a teeny tiny metallic flake in it. I don't actually know if you're gonna see the metallic flake with being a matte finish or not. We'll find out. We're going through this together. I've never done this before.
But you have to go back and get the right primer. Now we gotta back up a step. So that's where we're gonna leave it for now until paint stores open tomorrow and you can go back and get the right stuff that you need.
Isn't this fun?
But the hope is that when it's done, it's gonna be like a notch up from your rattle can primer, right?
Well, honestly, I want it to look fantastic. Like if I have to pay, so it's like, just to be completely transparent, it's a little over 500 bucks to paint this entire truck with how it's all kind of coming about. 500 bucks-ish vicinity to paint the whole truck a matte baby blue, or a matte blue from 1984.
Yeah. So coming up next time, we'll show you should be painting. We'll see if you can actually achieve the matte finish, because you've heard that's a little bit tougher to get.
That was another thing. So I wanted matte finish, and I thought, well, I've looked into it like just this much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, my understanding is they put a flattening agent into the clear to give it the flat finish. Well, then I read a little further. There's different techniques on spraying to give it a matte finish, to give it a better matte, a less gloss or more gloss. The other thing I've been hearing too is that you could get stripes. If you don't do it right, you can end up with stripes, like shinier or duller spots.
I'm just hearing there's a lot of opportunity for this to not go as planned.
I mean, what could go wrong?
And how's the search for the donor truck going?
See, that is the one thing I do extremely well.
Tom can buy
I
stuff
can
really
find
well.
a deal. I can find what I'm looking for and it'd be a deal like nobody's business. So we may, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you. Maybe we found one, maybe we didn't.
All right.
We did.
He also can't keep a secret.
It's awesome.
All right.
We'll tell you more about that next time. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, follow the build. It's getting more exciting as we get closer and as I spend more money. Bye-bye.